Today is Tuesday, January 14th, a special episode of Just Wondering with Norm Hitzges. And today I'm wondering about the Cowboys' now vacant head coaching position.
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Eyeing retirement? Let us show you how to turn your nest egg into a paycheck with half the amount you've been led to believe. Fluent Financial combines in-house portfolio design and risk management with income-generating investments designed to accelerate your financial independence. Let us develop an effective portfolio strategy that works for you so you can retire sooner and have a better lifestyle. Fluent Financial can also implement a program that allows business owners to install a cash balance plan, which is designed to help drastically reduce income tax payments. You've worked hard to become successful. Let us develop an effective portfolio strategy that works for you. Learn more today about Fluent Financial. Retire sooner, better lifestyle. For more information or to schedule a meeting, visit fluentfinancial.com or call 972-852-4800.
What do you want from your favorite restaurant? Fantastic personal service, a cheery, welcoming, spotless atmosphere, and great food. The primest of beef, wagyu and lamb, incredibly fresh seafood, lobster, salmon, shrimp. Hall of Fame food from a Hall of Fame restaurant. 2 locations of Bob's Steak and Chop House, the original Bob's on Lemon Avenue, and the gorgeous new Bob's at Craig Ranch, McKinney. You know Volvo's reputation for building beautiful, long-lasting cars. Well, Crest Volvo Cars, located at 121 on the Tollway in Frisco, has over 300 brand-new Volvos at terrific prices. And there's also that hard-to-find low interest available. When you're at Crest Volvo, say howdy to General Manager Mike Brusen, then test drive your favorite Volvo. Crest Volvo, off 121 on the Tollway in Frisco. First, a hearty congratulations to Mike McCarthy for being out of a job. Coach Mac is now free to pursue other head coaching openings, and there are now 5 of them in the NFL besides the Cowboys. He leaves behind a dysfunctional NFL franchise, a kind of circus, if you would, with the ringmaster being Jerry Jones. He was not fired, he just wasn't extended because he didn't win the playoffs. I don't think it was about this year. I think it was about those 3 playoff losses. The 3 years before this one, twice to San Francisco and to Green Bay last year. It was that Green Bay loss that put Mike McCarthy in real danger. San Francisco, the 2 years previous to that, they were the better team both times. But Green Bay last year came into AT&T Stadium as the youngest NFL team, average roster age, to ever make the NFL playoffs. And what did this ultra-young Green Bay team do? They lifted their hind leg and urinated on the Dallas Cowboys. It was 27-0 at the half. It was 48-16 entering the fourth quarter. It was embarrassing. And the TV cameras caught several shots of Jerry Jones just sitting there watching his team be dismantled. His 12-win team. His team eliminated for the 3rd year in a row from the playoffs before reaching an NFC championship game. And the Cowboys have now not been there. Well, it'll be 30 years as of next season. It was that one loss, one game that cost Mike McCarthy his job. That Green Bay game. If he had won that Green Bay game, there's no question he'd have had a long-term extension to coach the Cowboys here. Just like his quarterback that day, Dak Prescott, who got a huge money long-term extension to stay here, despite the fact that he, Prescott, played very poorly in all three of those playoff losses that contributed to McCarthy losing his job. That one game. Then this season, his GM and owner, Jerry Jones, failed miserably to fill the holes left in his roster by free agents departing, and then injuries contributed to McCarthy's team starting just 3-7 from the gate, and 7-10 then for the season. And now Mike's gone. Mike's gone, but not before. He and Jerry apparently had a handful of meetings in the last week, but not to discuss a new deal. That was made plain by the reports of McCarthy's dismissal, non-extension, whatever, that the two had not discussed a new deal. So what were they talking about? We are left to assume they were talking about football. And obvious then, they disagreed about the football they were talking about. What was the disagreement? Was it overcoaching the Cowboys going forward with Dak in place long term? Was it the handling of free agents last offseason and potentially the free agents handling this offseason? Was it about that bloated salary cap and what effect it might have on the next year or years going forward? What about the role in the franchise? Could McCarthy have brought up the fact that the Cowboys traded a fourth-round draft choice, that's a good pick, to get quarterback Trey Lance from San Francisco, and by all reports, there was no consultation with Coach McCarthy before the deal was made? Perhaps the discussions involved all four of these points, and maybe more. So now Coach Big Mac is gone. And who will be the new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? Well, Vegas weighed in immediately on this. And they made the favorite to be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, wait for it now, Kellen Moore, who was the offensive coordinator here for 4 years before leaving 2 years ago, and is now coordinating the Eagles offense that is still in the quarterfinals of the NFL playoffs. Wouldn't that be bizarre? Don't I remember that when Kellen Moore left, a whole bunch of Cowboy fans were happy to see him go, slammed the door and locked it behind him? Now Kellen Moore coming back as the head coach here? Well, that's the Dallas Cowboys. Sure, that's possible. And Vegas's next favorite, Deion Sanders. Hey, it's Jerry Jones. It's the Dallas Cowboys. Anything's possible. But wait, wouldn't Deion want to coach his son, Shedeur Sanders? Well, wait a minute. But Dak's got this long-term extension, and they're not going to make a play to move way up in the draft for Shedeur Sanders. The third favorite, Cliff Kingsbury, the offensive coordinator of Washington. Let's see. The offensive coordinator of Philadelphia, the offensive coordinator of Washington. It appears Jerry's been watching NFC East football. Then my favorite is fourth on the list of potential Cowboy head coaches. It's Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator of Buffalo. By the way, my dream scenario would be for Joe Brady to coach this team and Robert Salah to be the defensive coordinator. He's the fired head coach of the New York Jets. Oddly, the number 7 Vegas favorite to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Bill Belichick. Well, wait a minute. Didn't he just sign long-term in North Carolina? But wait a minute. These are the Dallas Cowboys, after all. But I was told that Jerry and Bill Belichick, a month and a half ago, may have had a dinner, and after that, Belichick took the North Carolina job. Could it be that Belichick and Jerry disagreed about what would happen if Bill Belichick were the head coach here? Hey, that's just speculation. But I trust the source that told me that Jerry and Belichick met. My guess is that Jerry will hire an offensive football team. I think the way the Cowboys offense didn't produce this year speaks to the need for someone coming in and designing or redesigning this Cowboys offense. But how about the defense? Well, wouldn't it be just like Jerry to tell the new offensive coach he hired to be the head coach that offensive coach would have to keep Mike Zimmer as the defensive coordinator? Hey, Jerry's done this before a couple of times. Remember, when he hired Wade Phillips, he'd already hired Jason Garrett as the offensive coordinator. So Wade didn't get to pick his own staff. Might not the new guy also not get to pick his staff totally? The new coach faces some real problems with the Cowboys. Let's say the new head coach gets a 4-year contract. That will mirror the 4 years of Dak's contract that he starts next season. He would then have Dak through Dak's ages 32, 33, 34, and 35 seasons. Now, that's not too old to be a good quarterback in the National Football League. But Dak, as we pointed out before, has had his struggles in the playoffs too. And to start this past year, yes, Dak was hurt, but he wasn't hurt before he quarterbacked the Cowboys through a very stumbling start to the season and recorded his worst quarterback rating of his career. The new guy will face a bloated salary cap and another offseason where the Cowboys won't have the money to add many free agents at all to plug holes. And perhaps most significantly, that new guy will be coaching an oddly run franchise where the owner general manager is the star, and everything, good or bad, flows downward through the organization from him. But for whoever is that new head coach, good luck, sir.
Today's episode brought to you by Fluent Financial. Retire sooner, better lifestyle. And by Crest Cars. There's good, there's better, and then there's Crest. And by Bob's Steak and Chop House.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Just Wondering with Norm Hitzges. If you enjoyed what you heard, please hit follow, and a fresh new episode will be delivered to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you know someone who might enjoy our work, please share it with them. I'm Norm Hitzges, and I'm always just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitchkus, and I'm just wondering too.